My understanding is it should be starting in about somewhere between 5 and 20 minutes from now. I don't know. I don't know what all I'm going to see. I don't know how long I'm going to stay live for, but this really was a weird case of I was like getting ready for bed, finally putting Spider-Man down and going, I have got to sleep because I did not sleep the night before either. And then I just happened to check YouTube right before I logged out and went, oh, FanFest is about to start. Well, you only get one chance to do this. So yeah, this will be this. I'll throw it up on YouTube or whatever it is that people do these days with the VODs and whatnot. I mean, honestly, I don't even know what to expect from this. Because we've seen the initial teaser trailer from the American Fan Fest. I'm sure there's going to be additional teases. I cannot stay up for hours watching this, so I'm likely just going to react to whatever they put right at the top. They make very clear this is the most important stuff, and then I'll probably stop and I'll have to get caught up like anybody else. And that's just going to be the plan. That's going to be the way it goes. And yeah, I mean, I guess this is my first time really getting into an expansion before it's fully announced. You know, I was not, well, yeah, that's true. That's sort of true. Because, like, when I first watched the trailer for Endwalker, the full trailer was out. I never saw a preview for it. So I don't really know how they do the whole trailer preview thing. Because I've never experienced it before. This is my first time. That preview during the North American one was the first time where it was like, okay, this is the trailer, but there's parts not in it. There's stuff clearly edited. Because we're not going to tell you all the information yet. More information is going to come out as we go. And so, yeah. I don't know how this works. I don't know if we're going to get a lot more information, if we're just going to get a little bit. I know that there's been a lot of speculation for the new classes. One being Green Mage is the big magic user guess. And then the other one being like Privateer. Pirate of some kind. I would love that. I would absolutely play as a pirate in Final Fantasy. That excites me. That's a job change day one. We're not gonna be dancing through this expansion. We're gonna be pirating. That would be great. So I'm all for it. Whatever they want to do is all right by me. But I don't know if we're going to get even confirmation of either of those. Like, for all I know, we're going to see the exact same trailer and, you know, Yoshi P is going to be wearing a different shirt with a different hint. But maybe, hear me out. Now, like, people who know, here's what you need to know. I know nothing. This is all speculation. Those of you who have been here before, you're probably well aware of what to expect. I don't know. So I'm sitting here thinking, like, is this when Yoshi P wears, like, full cosplay? And we all go, it's the thing. He's dressed as the thing. Or is that next time? I don't know when he does the cosplay. Or if he always does the cosplay. Is that just a every now and then thing? So maybe this is it. Maybe this is when we can anticipate that. But I am excited for it. I think there's a lot of reasons to be interested in what Final Fantasy XIV is going to be next expansion. Because it is a fresh start. It's a fresher start than I expected. You know, when they first talked about Endwalker is going to be the end of the expansion. Or the end of the story, not the expansion. End of the story, you know, I think at a base level, you just kind of think like, okay, well, it's going to wrap up the loose threads, and that's it. And in some ways, that's what it did. But it also, it feels like it wrapped up a lot more than I thought. Like, I thought maybe, you know, Hydaelyn and Zodiark would be wrapped up. You know, that's kind of the crux of everything going on. There's a lot of other little stories within there, but, like, that's sort of the overarching thing. And Endwalker just wrapped it up. Finished that and a lot more. in some ways, it wrapped it up pretty quick. So I think that this is an interesting reset. And I know that there have been some... I've seen some of them. I watched the Zepla video where she was kind of talking about some of the pain points that she was feeling with the game. I watched a bit of that. I think it was dramatically titled The Fall of Final Fantasy XIV. And I think in the case of both their videos, there's stuff that I agree with and disagree with. With Zepla's, I think it actually was pretty spot on to understand where she was coming from, even if I didn't feel the same way in all those regards. Some of it's just because I don't engage with some of the content she does, so it doesn't impact me. But I do think that probably the pain point that I keep hearing, that I do kind of understand, is that it's very easy now to feel like expansions are getting a little formulaic. And that doesn't mean they can't do the same things, but there does come a point where if you know what's going to be announced ahead of time, I mean, even talking about this, like, is this the FanFest where Yoshi P comes out in cosplay? Like, I think that's a cool thing. I wouldn't necessarily want it to go away, but we're still talking about it like it's a routine thing. Like, this is, you know, what to expect. And I feel like starting with a brand new story, brand new continent, like all this new stuff, this is a fantastic time to shift things up a little bit, stir the pot a little. And I kind of hope they do that. I don't know if that's what we're going to see. I don't think we're going to see that today. I think that's going to be something we discover over time. But I don't see any issues with doing something like that. You know, I don't want it too chaotic. I've been pretty critical of games like WoW, which I'm going to give kudos to World of Warcraft. This current expansion of World of Warcraft has been a lot clearer as to what to expect. But I feel like if you're gonna buy an expansion and you're gonna pay a monthly fee for an MMO, I feel like having at least some idea of what content you're gonna get for the next 2+ years is a good thing. Like, somebody telling you, hey, here's what you're paying $15 a month for. Like, I think that's good. I think it's actually bad. You know, you look back at, like, Warlords of Draenor. If you look at what the patch cadence and content was, nobody would have wanted to buy that. Nobody. Like, that was an unwelcome surprise is what that would have been. And so, you know, I think it's important to let your consumers know they're not throwing their money away. The game's going to be supported. It's going to receive content. But I also think it's important to keep that excitement alive by releasing new things and shifting gears when necessary. So I wouldn't mind seeing some of that too. Looking at the clock here, looks like we got about 10 minutes if this is starting right at the top of the hour. And let's see what happens. We're just gonna check it out. Again, I am so tired. I should have been asleep 2 hours ago, and that would have been staying up. So I will apologize if you're getting excited to see Jon's reaction, a tired person's reaction to all this. I'm not going to be reacting to all of it. I don't even know how much I'm going to be reacting because I don't know that I have the energy to muster it. The only good thing about it is when it starts to get late, you can kind of get the deeper registers. Your body's like, hey. It's like when you record something early in the morning, you got a deeper voice. It's pretty good. You kind of start to get that late at night again. I'm like, oh, we can hit the deeper notes right now. Now I'm just awake in the same way. Yeah. We're gonna do it. We're gonna get through this. I can't blame it all on Spider-Man. Spider-Man's a very good game, but I knew what I was doing. The last hour is Final Fantasy's fault. I was gonna be in bed by 1. That was gonna happen. This last hour was a commitment to, well, let's just see what they have to show. I might as well, I'm gonna be tired tomorrow no matter what. I might as well get something out of it. I think that's the right logic to have. And I'm also gonna say, I'm assuming that this is a cool thing to do. I mean, I'm not a huge streamer by any means, so I don't anticipate Square Enix police coming and knocking on my door or anything, but this is at such a weird time for me. Nobody I follow on Twitch is doing this, so there's always that level of paranoia. Am I allowed to do this? Is Yoshi P gonna come knock on the door dressed as a gunbreaker and tell me, why did you do this to us? Why did you commit the ultimate betrayal? I'm sure it's fine. Nobody cares. They said you could co-stream it. Mr. Happy is at the moment as well. Well, there we go. Perfect. That's awesome. Red Mosquito, thank you so much for the sub. It's the Square Enix police. Open up. Don't tell them. Don't tell them where I am. We'll get through this. I think I can get away with it. I think we'll be okay. What time is it where you are? Probably not as bad for some. It is 2 a.m. here. Or will be 2 a.m. I think my biggest wish is I just wish that I had planned to do this, because if I'd planned to do this, I wouldn't have done this last night too. Or even if I did, I would have taken a nap. But I didn't do either of those things because I didn't plan. And so now I'm just exhausted, and it's gonna be good. Predictions. So I talked a little bit about predictions here. And the truth is I don't know what to expect. I know a lot of these things are known quantities to a degree. I'm guessing they're going to show the trailer again, but I don't know if they're going to show like more of it. And if they show more of it, how much more of it they're going to show. I don't know if this is when we're going to get some sweet cosplay or if we're going to still be teasing jobs. I heard somebody explain the logic, though, of why Green Mage was something that a lot of people were thinking. I didn't even realize Green Mage was a thing, honestly. Oh, we'll begin shortly. Oh. When they say that, it comes with a crowd cheering. It's fantastic. I want Corsair. Like, I'm not a magic user very often in Final Fantasy XIV. I avoid magic in most situations. So Forget about that. I would love for Corsair to be a job. I like any job where I've got like a cutlass, maybe a gun. Oh look, we got people. We got people. I think we're gonna begin. I think it's time. If they're gonna show all these blue people, then I think that means they really mean it's gonna begin soon. Oh, yep, everybody's waving. Everybody realized they were on the stream, and as soon as the stream realized it, it immediately shut it down. Don't show them. We don't want any people waving on the stream. Show them the ether. But I don't know. What do all of you think we're getting here today? You know, as I mentioned, this is my first time getting the progression excitement for an expansion. I got excited for Endwalker at a time where it had already all been shown and announced. There wasn't anything new to consume like over a period of time. Like Endwalker was pretty much out, and we'd seen the full trailer and all that by the time I was excited about it. So I've never been in this stage of an expansion before. You know, technically Endwalker was my first full expansion because I waited for it. I was current in the MSQ and all of that, but like I got to see the Endwalker trailer in completion. That was my first viewing of it. So I'm not used to this like piecemeal trailer thing. And honestly, here's the truth. I would not watch the incomplete version of the trailer if I thought I stood any chance of making it to that trailer without spoiling myself. But I spend way too much time on YouTube. I see way too many thumbnails. You know, within minutes I would have seen Graha Tia with a taco. It was all over the place. So, like that's kind of the funny thing is if I had my choice, I would do one video when the trailer goes up in completion, and I'd just watch that. But I also know there's no way that I can make it to that point without seeing bits and pieces, and that kind of ruins the fun of it being the first time anyway. Phony08, welcome. Oh, we got a countdown. Oh, here we go. It's time. Let's figure out what's gonna happen. We're gonna just launch right into it. We got fireworks. We got Heaven's Ward. Pretty good. All right, let's see it. Let's see what this is gonna be. Oh, it's a big dramatic 10. Yeah, we're going right into it.
Ah, blue seas, clear skies, and boundless possibilities. say our destination will soon be in sight.
Vacation expansion.
Enjoying yourself for a change?
Alright, so far, I've seen all of this. But I am excited to see it again.
Come now. There's no cause for panic.
Oh man.
This one might make for a worthy opponent.
Yeah. Yeah, get him, Mystidian. Is that Nutkin? We've added a Nutkin? That was new, right? New Nutkin.
Might you have a moment to speak further?
Yeah, that's the new job, Nutkin. Oh, what's this? Oh, it's a dual wielding class. I don't know what it is. I'm in. I don't know what the class is, but I like it and I'm in. I'm on board. Yeah, you basically are Cal Kestis. It's a Cal Kestis class. Job. I gotta stop saying class. Well, yep, that's okay. I guess we know what I will be playing for the expansion.
Come to the land you call the New World.
We got it. We figured it out. Alright. I don't usually get excited for summer, but, you know, there's a reason to be excited now. Stay indoors. What's going on with this camera? There's just enough light in here for me to be freaking out. Oh, there it is. There's the cosplay. He's ready for it. That's great.
Thank you for coming today! Welcome to the Final Fantasy XIV.
I can hear somebody talking.
in London!
Not just Yoshi P. We can all hear him, but there's somebody giving like commands.
Yoshida, producer and director of Final Fantasy XIV. And also, welcome Michael Christopher Coach Fox.
All right, here comes Koji.
Hey everyone, it's great to be back. That said, some of you are probably wondering, where's Kate? What did Koji do with Kate? It's okay, Kate is back in Japan working with the team overtime to make sure that the game comes out in summer of 2024. So for now, you're stuck with me.
Working overtime. Final Fantasy XIV. We're doing crunch right now. Everybody cheers. Careful, Koji. Kotaku will write an article about you.
それから配信を見ている全世界の非課線の皆さんよろしくお願いします。
All right, that's right. Kate is hard at work back in Japan, and we thought that since Koji was going to be here with the primals, we'd just try to get our money's worth. So,
There you go.
改めて皆さんこんにちは、お久しぶりです。欧州ロンドン帰ってこれて本当に嬉しいです。
all right, it's great seeing you all again, and I'm so happy to be back in the UK.
さて北米に続いて開催となるファンフェスティバル2020
Yeah, the Estonian shirt's great.
今回は欧州ロンドンからお届けしてまいります。
Okay, so now coming hot off the heels of our most recent fan festival in North America, we are excited to kick off the festivities here in London.
前回は北米でしたが、
To be fair, I like Yoshi P's outfit too. Probably better than the Estonian shirt. But I don't think I could pull it
After
off.
seeing the fans again in Las Vegas, I've been really looking forward to seeing our fans here in Europe.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of belts. We should try and count the belts. I feel like we have a duty and an obligation to do so.
改めて、Q14 から数えて13年。
Oh, I don't know if it can be done. That's a lot of belts. I didn't know what I was getting myself into with that
これまでの
commitment.
本当にたくさんのサポートありがとうございます。改めてお礼を申し上げます。
All right, so we've come a long way in the 13 years since the launch of 1.0 and the 10 years since the relaunch of A Realm Reborn. And we couldn't have made it this far without you. It's been an amazing journey, and you have my deepest thanks for
Definitely
joining
at
us along the way.
5, but I gotta redefine what I consider belts in some cases.
さあ、欧州ファンフェスティバル、僕の開幕基調講演からスタートしてまいりたいと思います。どうぞよろしくお願いします。
And so now, without further ado, I'd like to officially kick off the keynote address. Yoshida-san, what's with the...
気になる。
Yeah, what is it?
確かにね、トレーラーに出てましたね。これと同じ格好の光の戦士ね。
All right, it kind of looks like what our Warrior of Light was wearing in the trailer.
まあ僕も50歳になったのでそろそろコスプレは勘弁してほしいっていうふうにスタッフに言ったんですけど、まあ、どうしてもやれと。
So now I just turned 50 years old this year, and I'm getting a little old for cosplay, but the dev team wouldn't take no for an answer, so...
Man, you know what? He still pulls it off just fine.
じゃあ早速新情報から参りたいんですが、
It's fine.
スクリーンに映ってるこの
There's a lot of people that wouldn't look cool in that outfit. He looks fine in that
ぜひ
outfit.
覚えておいてください。
All right,
I
so
would
with that,
not
let's
look
move on
cool
to our
in
first
that
piece of
outfit.
information. First, you have this great artwork up here. This is the package artwork. And, dun-dun.
New job.
では最初にですね、まだ絶賛開発中なので
Maybe one of my favorite details about the Final Fantasy community, you use the word job around them and they get very excited.
And our first new information is about the new job. And as always, rather than have me talk about it, let's give you an exclusive sneak peek with this video showing the job in action.
Okay.
Roll it.
Okay, I'm interested. We're gonna do this. We're definitely gonna be watching this. 'Cause this is my new main right here. I don't care what it is. This is it. I will learn it. Oh, we killed the cameraman to show us this video. Alright. This is just awesome. This is, like, I feel the way that I think a lot of people felt about Reaper about this. Like, from the aesthetic, to the weapon choice, to the fighting style, everything about this is my jam. Oh, it's called a Viper? That's a cool-ass name. I was literally about to say, I don't even care if it's got a dumb name, but then they gave it a cool name.
All right, so the first of our 2 new jobs being released with Dawn Trail is the dual-wielding melee DPS Viper.
バイパーはファイナルファンタジー14完全オリジナルジョブとなってます。
Viper is a Final Fantasy XIV original.
There you go.
世界中から多数いただいた二刀流忍者とは違った二刀流の、正統派剣士を実装してほしいというたくさんのフィードバックに応える形で今回実装が進んでいます。
So it was designed to cater to those players around the world who have been asking for a new dual-wield job that's different from Ninja.
I mean, like, that's kind of what I've been wanting, and, like, in a lot of ways, this makes more sense as the evolution of Rogue than
And it was
Ninja.
designed specifically for Dawn Trail.
アートにも CG にもありますが、今僕が装備しているこのデザインがジョブ専用装備となってます。
And as you can see here in the art, and from what was shown in the video, and what I am wearing, this is the Viper's job-specific gear.
ではバイパーの特徴を見ていくことにしましょう。
All right, so let's take a closer look at the Viper's characteristics.
Got a cool name. Fight with 2 swords.
ロールは近接
Named after a
DPS で
snake.
装備枠は忍者と同じ
Got
デック
piratey
という区分に
vibes.
なってます。
So the Viper's role is melee DPS with the gear
Smiles
type
when they
falling
get
under the
cut.
dexterity melee category, or the same as Ninja.
I kind of feel like this is like, guys, look, Ninja's off the chain. We know it went off the chain. We're just gonna try it again.
Vipers will utilize dual blades that are unique to the job.
クリックしてね。対応クラスは存在していないので最初からジョブの状態で使用可能です。
And of course, Viper will not have any required class. You'll start with the job.
条件使う条件は黄金のレガシーの、権利を所有していることといずれかのジョブレベルが80になっていることです。
Yeah, there's a weird rogue to ninja jump. I think they do an okay job explaining it in the story. Like, I think there's actually a logical, like, not a logical, but there's a pretty decent story evolution going from rogue to ninja, but, like, it's just jarring. Like, it kind of feels like somebody takes your class away and gives you something very, very different once you evolve it. And, I always play rogue because I like it, and then as soon as I become ninja, I always drop it.
And again, the job should be available immediately at Dawn Trail's launch, as long as the aforementioned prerequisites are cleared. So if you want to play the whole Dawn Trail main scenario as a Viper, you can do that.
続いて
Starting in Old Da, that does seem weird. Like, this also feels like a Limsa Lominsa job if I ever heard one. They put everything in Old Da, though.
So a
Like,
Viper will use a pair of one-handed blades to attack their foes.
I think they just want people to leave Limsa every now and then.
ブレードを合体させた合体剣という攻撃2つ、持ってます。
But they can also combine these blades in a single two-handed weapon to deal heavier blows.
そして特徴的なのがですね、常時ヘイストがかかっているジョブになるために攻撃頻度かなり高いジョブになります。
So in addition to dealing swift attacks that are so fast that they feel like they already have haste cast on them,
今回、まだ開発中ということで、アクションまだまだ
calling on the memories of ancient hunters contained within their soul crystal, the Viper can imbue their body with additional power. It's alright. I actually, before we saw any trailers, before FanFest, I wanted a, oh, what was it? Like, was it called a Soul Blade? A Rune Blade. That's what it was. I wanted a two sword wielder with, like, magic properties. Was one of my early predictions. So this is, yeah, this is just real cool. This is just landed all over the place for me.
So Viper is a technically demanding yet highly stylish melee job that affords frequent opportunities for players to execute various abilities in between the weapon skills.
Technically demanding, so I will be playing this class, and you will not want to be partying with me.
All right, the development team is working hard to create something that lives up to your high expectations, so please look forward to it.
ありがとうございます。では今のバトルのイメージの説明を踏まえてもう一度先ほどの動画、流してみたいと思います。
All right, so now, with all of that I've just explained in mind, let's take one more look at that video. Roll it.
Show it again. Oh, look at him. He's combining the sword. I caught him. I caught him before we cut. I like this blue Super Saiyan glow you can do as well. I like everything about it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go out there and get a job. Oh look, yeah, he combined it. Look at him.
Yeah.
Freaking Darth Maul out
Great
there.
job with the cosplay.
あんまりやると飾りが取れそう。
Yeah, you should hold off. It's gonna break. Don't break it. Be careful. Calm down.
もちろんこの王のレガシーで実装されるジョブというのはこのバイパー一つだけではありません。
So now you all know that Dawn Trail will feature not one, but two new jobs.
すでに遠隔魔法 DPS キャスターであることは皆さんにお伝えしていますが、さてどんなジョブになるのか。
Did they say if it was a
Right? And you
casting
already know
DPS
that
or
the second job
just a
is to
caster?
be ranged magic DPS.
Okay, yeah, okay. So we did know that. That's known.
北米の基調講演でもヒントはもう出ておりますので、答え合わせはすみません、日本のファンフェスまでお待ちください。
But as for what that job is, well, other than the little hint I dropped back in Las Vegas, you're gonna have to wait until Tokyo. Sorry.
Making him wait. Although he did confirm now, like, this Viper wasn't a Ninja Turtle reference.
Are you gonna hold those sword the whole time?
まあそうね。
Yeah.
じゃあちょっと武器スタンド出してもらっていい
Okay.
かしら。
Can we bring the stands out for the swords? Maybe? Stands for the sword? Oh, there we go.
Oh.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's okay.
A lot of drama about these,
And now for your
these
real weapon,
stands.
the clicker.
OK。
You ready?
アイテムレベルアップ。では続いて、基調講演進めてまいりたいと思います。新たな拡張パッケージ黄金のレガシーについて北米でも、ご紹介しましたが、ストーリー改めて簡単に振
Yeah,
り返っておこうと思
they're
います。
adding Dragoon and Black
Right,
Mage
so we already
confirmed.
talked a little bit about Dawn Trail's story in Las Vegas, but we'd like to do a little recap before we continue.
まず今回皆さん光の戦士にお届けするのは僕たちからの最高の夏休みがテーマになっております。
So we already talked a little bit about how Dawn Trail would provide the Warriors of Light with a well-deserved summer vacation.
Summer vacation.
新たなる冒険、そのバカンスの目的地は
I mean, that's fine.
西方
If
の
it comes out in
トラル
summer,
大陸と呼ばれている地
I
域にな
will
ります。
want it.
And that vacation would
It's
be
too
taking
hot
place
here to
in the
enjoy it
far western
outside,
Alps.
so I will enjoy it inside, pretending I'm outside in a video
その
game.
片鱗、出ておりますが。
So with the release of Part 1 in patch 6.5, you got a glimpse of where the story will be taking you.
本格的にストーリーがこの
This is
7.0
technically
に繋がってい
spoilers to
く
me.
のは
I have not
パッ
played
チ 6.5
6.5 yet.
メインクエストパート2の方からになりますのでぜひご注目ください。
But it will be the release of part 2 that you'll better understand what's in store for you and the Scions and how everything in Dawntrail's main narrative connects together.
光の戦士の皆さんが依頼されるのはトラル大陸におけるある王国の王位継承レースへの助力になります。
So the Warrior of Light has been asked to sail west across the Indigo Deep to assist in a rite of succession for Tural's throne.
おなじみのメンバーもちろん勢ぞろいしていきますが
And of course, all the Scions will be joining the Warrior of Light in Tural.
今回そこで繰り広げられるのは暁の決命を二分する王位継承レースです。
I like all the food that the
All will be on
trailer
the same
shows,
side for the
although
upcoming contest.
I will say food and drink in video games sometimes bothers me.
暁のメンバーと一緒に
Because
レースに参加したいですか
you
Okay,
can't
so we
eat it
asked
or
the same
drink it.
question in Las Vegas, but we want to ask all of you, who
For
do
the
you
obvious
want
reason.
to be with you,
It's hard to get
when
excited
you're
about digital
in the
food.
contest? Who from the Scions? Alice?
一番最
Oh,
初に
man.
アリゼっていう声があります。
They asked the
Somebody's really
crowd.
excited.
いやいろんないやこれだけでもたくさんの方にねいろんなキャラクター愛していただいてるのは本当に嬉しいです。
I'm really happy that you all love all of the Scions so much.
誰がレースの敵に回るのかもご注目ください。
But we can't tell you now, but who's going to be on your side? Who's going to be the opposing side? You'll have to wait to find out.
でこの 7.0 拡張の全体のテーマとしては、ファイナルファンタジー14新たな冒険の幕開けというテーマを抱えています。
So the main narrative theme for Final Fantasy XIV 7.0 is a journey of new discovery.
もちろんストーリーもこれまでの拡張パッケージ同様、RPG 丸1本分の体験しっかりお届けしていこうと思います。
And as always, we plan on providing players with a full standalone RPG's worth of story and experiences with this single expansion.
そのきっかけとなる王位継承レースとは何なの
I
か。
mean, that's good. That would be kind of
What,
jarring
however,
if
will
they're
that
like,
story entail? What is this contest?
surprise, everybody.
トラル大陸にはど
We're
んな
not gonna
エリアや
finish the
冒険が
story
待ち構え
at
ている
all.
のか。
What adventures await in this new land?
そしてメトセルクも言っていた
Though, to be fair, that is exactly what World of Warcraft expansions
And
do.
what is this city of gold that Emmett Selk talked about?
もちろんこれまで同様に皆さんに驚いていただく仕掛けというのもご用意していますのでぜひそのストーリーお見逃しのないようよろしくお願いします。
And of course, we have a lot of other surprises. I can tell you right now, they're going to be big ones.
I would have never guessed that. They might not tell us everything.
この物語がどう皆さんと一緒に転がっていくのかめちゃくちゃ楽しみにしてますのでぜひ引き続き
Here's what I'm curious about. How long will it take for me to learn the word
I know
turtle
you guys really enjoyed the Highland
and
Zodiac
say it
series,
as if
but
it's
we
a
have
word
something
I
that's
know?
even better waiting for you in Dawntrail. We
It's
hope you
not
enjoy it.
yet. Also, I keep forgetting the name of the expansion.
To
be fair, I'm really struggling with names this expansion. Dawntrail, for whatever reason, is not easy for me to say.
All right, so next up, let's talk a little bit more about Tural, and we're going to start by expanding on some of the info that released back in Vegas.
これまでの冒険の舞台は三大州と呼ばれる地域でした。
So up until now, we've spent most of our time on the three great continents.
今回はドーントレイルの冒険により活動地域が西側海を越えた西方へ広がっていきます。
But as we talked about last time, our adventures in Dawntrail will be taking us far to the west.
ですので今回の拡張だけではなく今後皆さんの冒険の舞台は惑星ハイデリン全体へと及んでいくことになります。
But again, this doesn't mean that we've seen all of Heidelin, most of Heidelin, not all of Heidelin.
では
Are we still calling it Heidelin?
前回の北米のファンフェスでもお伝えした
Not all gonna go with a Theris now? I know only a select few people know that. It would be weird
All right, so next we're going to talk
It
about
would be weird
the
if
main
all of a
hub,
sudden
the
like
main city
5
player hub that
people
the
showed
warriors
up
will likely be
and
operating
said,
from
"Hey
during
guys,
Dawn Trail."
it's not called
これまでの
Earth
プレイヤー
anymore.
タウンよりもかなり多民族、
Here's the real name. You all need to call it this
街という
now.
特徴になってます。
We probably wouldn't
So this
listen to
city
them."
of Tuliyolao will be far different from the existing player hubs that the players have seen before.
これまではスクリーンショットとアートワークでご紹介したんですが、開発が進み動画の準備ができましたので動画でご覧いただこうと思います。
So the last time we were only able to show you the city via screenshots and artwork, but this time we've prepared some special in-game
Every
footage.
time I see the picture of the logo, I think of a Star Wars Imperial ship.
So with that in mind, roll the tape.
Now I will too. Every single time. It does look like a Star Destroyer. Alright. Good water. Good mountains. Looks like the kind of place you'd want to take a summer vacation. Food. Confirmed. Was in the trailer a lot. Gotta confirm that food.
そういえばサウンドディレクターである祖健からコメントを預かってたんでした。
So before we continue, we had a little message from Soken, our sound director.
今の動画の曲まだまだモックアップなので、サンプルだと思ってくださいと、伝えてほしいと言われてます。
So he asked me to tell you that the music playing in the video is just a mock-up.
Oh, I liked
なので
it.
もっとすごくなるから期待しててく
I
ださい
love that I was
とのこと
like, you know what,
です
that music was pretty good. And then it's like, here's a message from Soken. Don't get excited about that music. It's just
トライ
temporary.
はこれまでのプレイヤータウンと異なり、多数の民族文化が溶け合っているというお話先ほどしました。
So as I mentioned before, the city is far different from the major cities on Highland. It is a culturally diverse, pluralistic state.
トレーラーで主人公と剣を交えていた2つの頭を持つマムージャの王グルールジャジャによって統治された国です。
So that massive two-headed Mamulja that we saw the Warrior of Light fighting with in the trailer, that's the current ruler of the nation and king of the Mamulja, Galul Jaja.
このトライオラオールドシャーレアンと、カイロで
I'm sad that I only just learned of the name Galul
But the
Jaja
Mamulja aren't the only peoples living
because
in the city. On top of
I've
that, it
already
appears the city
named
has an established trade route
my
with
son.
Old Charlian.
今回ご覧いただいた、動画ウォークスルーですがまだまだ NPC の配置が行われていませんが非常に多くの密度あるオブジェクト、グラフィックスアップデートの効果ご覧いただけたんじゃないかなと思います。
So in that walkthrough that you just saw, you saw that there were no NPCs there. Those will be added later. But hopefully you got an idea of what the town will look like and all of the high quality of all of the objects.
We're gonna put
that we
people
have
in this
thanks to our
town.
graphical update.
では続いてフィールド行ってみましょう。
So next I'd like to introduce you to some
Tell
of the
us
new areas
about
that
the
you'll
new
find in
areas.
Tyrol トラル大陸の
Show us
フィ
the
ール
areas.
ドまずは前回ご紹介したオルコパチャとヤクテル樹海についてです。
Okay, so first we're going to start off with the two areas that we talked about in Las Vegas, Urcopacha and Yaktel.
こちらも開発が進んでまいりましたので今回は動画で、ウォークスルーご覧いただこうと思います。
And since we talked last, development, of course, has continued, and we are ready to show you some in-game footage. Roll it.
All right, we're gonna see it. I don't remember any of the names that were said. But let's see it. I love that it's just this warrior of light walking through empty spaces. This looks really good though. Like this actually looks pretty good. Yeah, dude's dressed in the new job outfit. They designed a job just for me. It's really nice of them. You know, I have spoken very highly of this game. I didn't know they were gonna thank me by making a job just for me, but they did. So, oh, that looks so cool. I hope we go to a snowy area. I know it's supposed to be summer vacation, but I do hope we go up on some like snowy mountains. That would be cool. If this comes out in the summer, it's gonna be like 120 degrees out while I'm playing this. I'd like to go to some snowy mountains in the game. There's cactus. Cacti confirmed.
開発中のエリアではありますが、今回これまで以上に環境設定、自然環境にかなり注力した自然なエリアというのをご覧いただけたかと思います。
Again, what you saw is still under development, but we've worked really hard on these areas, focusing on creating landscapes that feel even more real and natural than ever before.
Yeah, some of the like jungle shots looked really, really good. Like, there's actually a kind of a crazy art to making convincing jungle and forest in MMO video games. Like, it's hard in all video games. I don't want to say just MMOs, but like, it's easier in a single player game to do a jungle than it is in an MMO. So like, I kind of feel like getting a convincing looking forest or jungle, it's impressive. I remember in Heaven's Ward, there's a part where they tell you about, like, oh, the dragons can't see us because the canopy of this forest is too thick, and you look around, there's like 5 trees total. Like it just didn't look good. So we have to come to a point where it's like, oh, it actually looks like a jungle. It actually looks like a forest. Yeah, the Dravinian forelands, yeah. Yeah, weird that we both thought of that. Yeah, that's a big one that stands out. Because they make the forest out like it's a thing. And obviously they learned a lot. Because like the Raktika Greatwood feels like a forest. Like it feels great. But like that does stand out. So it's cool to see when it works. And it's cool to see it evolving over time.
And there are a lot of waterfalls in between the upper and lower areas as well.
ここに住まう部族も多種多様、新たな出会いが皆さんを待ち構えています。
Several different peoples call this region home, meaning there's much adventure to be had.
ではこちらコザマルカ開発中のスクリーンショットをご覧いただこうと思います。
Right, so let's take a look at some in development screenshots.
That looks cool. That looks super cool. It's like if the Blade's Edge Mountains in WoW was pretty and nice.
We were able to create a new type of area that feels very unique from the areas that we've created in the past.
今回特にですね、空気感とかそれから光の表現というものに非常にこだわって開発を進めてます。
And as you can see, special attention has been paid to lighting to create this perfect atmosphere.
そしてこちら、
This is gonna look even better with
here's the jungle in midday.
reshade on. Is it reshade or G-shade? I don't remember what we're on. I got off the one that everyone said get off of. I did it.
And so the waterfalls from the upper
But I don't use
feed
mods.
the countless small
If
rivers
the
that flow
Square Enix
out of the
police are
jungle to the
listening,
sea.
I don't use mods.
右に見えるのが
But it's gonna look so much better with reshade
木に
on.
もよく見ると、上の方に建造物があったりするのがわかると思います。
And so on the right, you can see a small village, and even in that tree in the center, you can see a small building located within the tree.
As it gets closer to 3 a.m., I'm getting a little loopy.
最後はやや引いた状態の
I'm just throwing it out there because there's gonna be a point where I don't feel accountable for the words coming out of my mouth
見
anymore.
たところあまり
Not
危
there
険
yet.
な雰囲気というのは
But
感じられない
it's gonna
と思うん
happen
です
real
が
soon.
果たしてどういった物語になるのかいろいろ想像していただけると嬉しいです。
So from here, it doesn't look that dangerous, but you all know what lurks in the shadows, so.
さてちょっと続いても
Me,
もう
I'm
一
what
エリア紹介していきま
lurks
しょ
in
う。
the shadows.
So
It's me
let's move on to our next area.
and my new Viper job that they made specifically for me. Secret.
Wait.
What? What?
In-game secret?
Oh, it's a mistake. The bug.
It's a bug. Oh no.
That looks like a little western town. That's awesome. I actually was just thinking, because you know they base if you look at Heidelin, like a lot of it maps to our real world. And like I was just thinking, like if they ever did move up to where America would be, would we get like a little western expansion or art style? And like there it is. Not that that's where we're going, but that looks like it.
スポイラーが激しすぎるのでシークレットって書いといてくれってお願いをしたのでああなってます。
So yeah, what we have there is something that is very, very pivotal to the story. It's a huge secret, and we didn't want to show it here because we wanted you to experience it in-game, so I made sure that they put secret up there.
なので、この、基調講演などでお見せしてしまうと、皆さんの楽しみを、ね、
Are we getting
大きく
Texas?
損なってしまう可能性がある
That's
ので、
that's
ぜ
the
ひですね、
secret.
プレイヤーの
We're gonna go to
皆さん
Texas.
ご自身で見ていただけたらなと思ってこういう対応をさせてもらってます。
Again, we want to show a lot of information here, but we also don't want to ruin your game experience. And so for this, because it's such a big secret and it's so exciting, and we want you to experience that in-game, we've decided to keep it under wraps for now.
We're showing you nothing. Nothing except what looks like the cover to a Dan Brown novel.
トラル大陸中央部に広がる荒野。
So it is a relatively flat, rain-starved region in central Tyrol.
I mean, that, like, basically describes where I live, except I'm not
Here,
located in
civilization is
central
experiencing
Tyrol.
a boom due to a recent discovery of ceruleum deposits.
セイリン線ってちょっと日本語で言うとね、何ってなると思うんですけど。
Oh, they're literally like doing kind of a gold rush, but it's gonna be like a ceruleum rush.
Ceruleum bursts up through the ground.
さあこの大陸での冒険、だんだんなんか夏休みなのか本当にっていう感じにちょっとなって
So
きた
we
か
are
な
gonna get a little Wild West
So
action
again,
going.
we mentioned summer
Fantastic.
vacation before, but the more
The
we see of
railroad,
Tyrol,
little
the more we
western
realize,
town,
the less we understand about
industry.
じゃあスクリーンショットもまだ開発中ですがお見せしましょ
Tyrol. All right, but let's take a look at some in-development screenshots.
う。かなり広い荒野が
Yeah,
広
it's
がってます
basically Red Dead.
So yes, unlike the dense jungles that we showed before,
Get a
this area
horse.
is a lot more open.
このエリアはあれですね、バイクのマウントなんかが大変似合いそうですね。
So yeah, it looks like this would be a good place to break out your motorbike mounts.
Midgar? That would be
それから
batshit
技術進歩というのが
crazy.
目覚ましく進んできており
Just
様々な
throw it out
人や
there.
物との
Can you
出会いが
imagine?
皆さんを待ち構えています。
Can you imagine
So
if
yes,
that was
you'll see a
true?
lot of newer technology and machines, as well as encounter the people that built them.
I mean, what are we
先ほどの
on?
シークレットの部分が
So,
ね、一番このエリアの特徴
so
なのでお見せ
Shadowbringers
でき
had
な
a
く
lot
て
of ties
残
to
念ではある
Final
んですが
Fantasy III.
Again, as I said before, this
Endwalker
area
had a
also
lot
has
of ties to
very,
Final
very big
Fantasy
secret.
IV, so maybe this one's gonna have some ties to Final Fantasy V.
あれ
So,
この雰囲気なのかなみたいな情報出てくる
Chocobo
の
friend
で
confirmed.
この後の基調講演もちょっと見てってください。
Again,
You're
we
gonna
won't
have to
talk
name your
about today,
character
but there may be
Butts.
some things, some hints, and other things that we have for you today that may give you a better idea of what is in that secret area.
もちろん荒野ばかりが広がっているわけではなく、このエリアこうした
See, like, again, that's a better forest.
文化の融合というの
That's a
が
better
行われて
forest than
ま
the
す
forest where they're like, oh, thank goodness for this canopy of trees. Like, they're doing a really good job with foliage in this expansion.
かなりの、ドラマ性高い物語用意していますので、ストーリー展開にぜひご注目ください。
Right, as for what drama awaits you here, as well as the other areas that we showed today, you'll just have to look forward to it.
I
で
do
は
look forward to it.
エリアの紹介これぐらいにして、前回北米でご紹介したペルペル族に続き、 もう一有効部族
Look at
ちょ
that
っと紹介してみ
dorky
ようかな
ass
と思います。
catfish man
So moving on from areas,
standing
next
down
we'd
there,
like to
man.
talk a little bit about,
They
the
knew
types
what
of
they were
peoples that
doing.
you'll
They
meet
put him front
in
and center,
Toronto.
staring
まあ
into your
これはね
soul.
皆さんちょっと見たことはあるだろうなと。
So this next one, some of you may recognize them.
こちら名前をモブリン族と言います。
And they are called the Moblins.
エオルセア地域ではゴブリンと呼ばれている部族ですが、基本的には同一部族ですね。
So they strongly resemble the goblins that reside in
They
Eorzea,
do
but they
look a
have their
lot
own
like
unique
goblins.
characteristics.
Not gonna lie,
ちょっと特徴を
looks a lot like
ご紹介
goblins.
しましょう。
And let's take a look at those characteristics.
まあ、先ほどご紹介したコザマルカに住む、一つの部族です。
So these Moblins mainly reside in the previously mentioned jungles of Kozamauka.
三大州に住まうゴブリン族はメカが大
I
好
wonder if
き
they
でしたね
talk the same way.
So, and unlike the goblins
If they
of the
do,
three great continents who are
get ready to
expert
hear
builders
Kyle
and
and Garrett
diggers,
very upset.
こちらは調達の達人ということで大きく考え方が異なっているようです。
these Moblins are experts in gathering and procuring items.
彼らとの協調でですね、どんなものづくりが、行われていくのか楽しみなところです。
Alright, so they're your
皆さん
they're your
特にね
crafting.
クラフターとかギャザラーとか
They're your
絡んでくる
crafting tribe.
可能性が非常に高いんじゃないかなと思います。
And so
They
with
don't-
these
they don't
Moblins
care
and
about
allies,
me,
just think of all the
'cause I
wonderful
just cut things
that
with
adventurers
swords.
might create, especially our crafters and gatherers.
ではエリアの追加情報をお届けしてまいりました。
All right, I think that's about enough today. And that's all we can say regarding Tyrol. Regarding Tyrol.
ではさらに黄金のレガシーの
I like that someone in the audience was like, "No, it's over." No, Yoshi, please. You
Now,
gotta
I'd
tell
like to
me
talk more about
something
the
new.
other features and content that await Warriors of Light in Dawn Trail.
Tell me more about this Rainbow Star Destroyer.
皆さんのおかげで
Level 100.
皆さんの
We're
レベル
doing
が
it. We're hitting ridiculous levels
到
now.
達することになります。
So as you know, we'll be taking the level cap into triple digit territory, level 100, and that's thanks to you.
皆さんレベル最後どれぐらいまで行きたいですか？
How far do you want to go? We're at 100 now. How far do you want to go?
I mean, I actually agree. I feel like 99 is where we probably should have stopped. That would be a really good stopping point. Then you do a level squish and everybody has to level up all over again.
ねえ
The UI, need more space.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
too many numbers. We need to-
EXP
That's right. The XP bar is just.
せっかく一回ね桁下げたの
That's
に
right. We got rid of some of those zeros, so we're gonna have to add.
もちろんクラフターや
I know people hate level squishes. I get
させていただきます。
I
Of
get
course, this will be
why,
for all jobs, including
but I'm
disciples
also
of the
gonna
land.
say this. I think hitting a level like 110 is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. I feel like once you get to level
Right,
100,
next, I want to talk a little bit about some
instead
7.0's
of
core
the
battle
level
content,
cap
we have
going
some
up
new
by
things to
10,
show you as well.
I feel like the level should just go up by 25. I feel like you just constantly level and the new level cap is 125. You gotta go in,
So active time
and then
events, the
and then
feats,
150 after that, 175 after that, then 200. I just feel like the 10 increment post 100 always bothers me.
and of
Look
course,
at that
we're working on
dungeon.
many new dungeons as well.
ダンジョン
It's a dungeon. This is a dungeon.
ダンジョンの数もですね、これまで以上の、同数しっかり用意させていただいてます。制作順調に進んでます。
Okay, and we're going to have at least as many dungeons as we had in the past expansions.
今回はいくつかのダンジョンについてスクリーンショット
It
や
is really
アー
good
トワーク
concept
で
art
ちょっと
because I keep looking down in the
追加
lower
情報
right
と
and
し
I'm
て
like, what are
お
they
伝えしていこ
doing
うと
down
思いま
there?
す。
Right, so next
going
let's
on
take
down
a
there?
look at some art and screenshots showcasing a few of those dungeons in development.
と言いながら、
Yeah,
この
let's see some
アート
dungeons. Why
も
not?
新情報だよ
We're
ね
here. We
But
might
yeah,
as well. What else are we
This
gonna do?
art, this is awfully new.
まずスクリーンショット1枚目。
All right, off to our first screenshot.
We're gonna go on the Nile.
This is a dungeon.
ダンジョン
This is a dungeon.
This is a dungeon. Yep.
Area, dungeon.
That looks like a fighting raft. That's a fighting raft right there.
まあ、ダンジョンというとね、どうしてもこう洞窟をイメージされがちなんですが、この一見川の普通のフィールドに見え
I
るとこ
really
ろ
like this
こちら
dirty
ダンジョン
water.
でなんとジャングルクルーズ
I don't know
ス
why,
タートします。
but I really
When
like
people
that.
think dungeons, they usually think like caves, but looks
Like
like this one
dirty
will start
water.
out as a river cruise.
まあね
Jungle
ちょっとどんな
Cruise.
戦闘とか
We're
ね
gonna battle the
キャラクター同士の掛け合いとか
backside of
繰り広
water.
げられるのか今からちょっと楽しみですね。
But I'll let you imagine
Isn't that
what
the
kind
joke?
of battles and player
From the
interactions are
Jungle
gonna go
Cruise,
on.
the backside of
でもちょっ
water.
と落ちたくないね。
I don't want to fall in the river though. No, not a good idea.
ね
Like
なんか
crocodiles,
そう
piranhas.
やられそう。
Yeah.
こちら、まあ、一見するとちょっとアートワークにも見えるかもしれませんが、こちら実機の、画像になります。
So I know this looks a lot like artwork, but this is an actual in-game screenshot.
Yeah, that does look really good. Cause at first I was like, oh, I guess we're done with the screenshots.
So
Looks
yeah, are
good.
we going upriver or downriver? Who knows? But at the
I don't know
end
if I'd
of the
applaud,
cruise,
but-
this is what awaits.
It's impressive for
い
sure.
やアートに見えるよね。
It does really look like artwork.
この環境セットアップしている
I agree,
開発
Koji.
者
I would say the same
今
thing.
回ロンドンのファンフェス来てますんで、後ほど開発パネルでもこういったお話してくれると思います。
So yeah, the team that actually worked, one of the members of the team that actually worked on this, and the environment team is here today, and is going to be up here on stage. So looking forward to meeting and hearing what he has to say about this.
さてさら
Look
に
at this trippy bit of
一
business.
転して全然また変わったこれもダンジョンです。
All right, and now we're somewhere completely different. This also is one of the new dungeons.
これもねなんかアートに見えるね。
This is also very, yeah, it looks like art.
こちらは外なのかそれか何かの一部なのか自然地形と
There's something about Yoshi P giving this whole speech about dungeons and pictures and images that look like art while he's got a sword just rested on his shoulder.
And what are those purple
I want to
things?
imagine this is how he gives people performance reviews.
先ほどの
He just walk into his office, he's just like, let me tell you.
And here's another look of the same dungeon.
This
up,
also
but
looks
up
like
from a little
art.
higher.
明らかに、雰囲気
This is what we're doing now. We're just going to talk about what looks like art and doesn't look
異様
like
な
art.
感じですね。
So yes, we can see some strange architecture that resembles ancient ruins.
これまでに光の戦士の皆さんが冒険してきたどのエリアともちょっと違った印象になっているんではないかと思います。
So yes, this is far different from any place the warriors of light have journeyed before.
ではダンジョンのお話最後にですね、開発中の他のダンジョンの、まだちょっと実機はお見せできないんですがアートワークを2枚ほど持ってきましたのでちょっとご紹介していこうと思います。
So finally, we have some artwork for 2 more dungeons that we'd like to show you, but you're going to have to use your imaginations to visualize how they're going to turn out in-game.
まず1枚目
This is art.
So this is our first.
まあこちらまさに It's a
This time,
It's a dungeon.
it's art.
古代の遺跡のようですがしっかりしたこういうね構造を持ってるっていう風にねアート見えますね。
But again, this also has that look of sturdily built ancient ruins to it.
こちらはすでに、レベルデザイナーのレベルデザインが終わりそのレベルデザインに合わせた、構造をアートチームがこうデザインしてってるからですね。
Okay, but what you see here is not concept art. In fact, the level design for the dungeon is already complete, and this artwork was created to help the modeling team.
本当はですねこういう端のあたりにですね
I like that now he's just pointing with the sword. He's just turned the sword into a laser pointer. A Final Fantasy laser pointer. He's just like, look at the art, everybody. Look at it.
So now, artwork like this usually has a lot of text written in the margins to help the designers. It's filled with lore and secrets. But we just kind of cut that out because, to avoid spoilers. Sorry.
そしてもう一枚
Okay, and now for the surprising one.
This continues to look really intriguing.
メカニカル
Summer vacation.
Yep, that's it. That's all you're gonna hear.
Summer vacation.
Mechanical.
maybe cold capsule.
Oh,
Yes,
stay
yes.
cold, because it's so hot.
Maybe.
Okay.
こちらもダンジョン、しかもメインストーリーに登場するダンジョンなんですが、あまりのね機械文明の
I
発展
mean,
にちょっとびっくりし
maybe
ます
it is a
Yes,
picture of a
this is
Star
dungeon for the
Destroyer.
7.0 main scenario,
Maybe
but
that's the
again,
big
unlike
secret
the
at the
nature
end of
that we
all
see
of it.
before,
It
this
is.
has a lot
We
of
got a
magic.
Biggs, we got a Wedge.
詳細な
Art
解
looks
説
like a
は
Star
差し控え
Destroyer.
ますが
Maybe it's just a
やはり
Star
この
Destroyer.
7.0 の冒険、単なる光の戦士の夏休みでは終わらなさそうな気配が漂ってます。
So yes, it looks like Dawn Trail is going to be a little bit more than your ordinary summer vacation.
ではこのダンジョンに登場する、強敵、ボスの一体をちょっとご
New
紹介し
threats.
よう
This
か
is
な
the
と思い
section
ま
where
す。
Yoshi P
Alright, so
just
now that we've
starts
seen where you're going to fight,
acting like he's
let's find
gonna
a
hit
little bit
everybody
about,
with the
more
sword.
about who you're going to fight.
まあ前回はね、透滅戦の相手を表示しましたが、今回ね透滅戦ではないんですが、
So last time in Las Vegas, we showed one of the raid bosses.
バリガレマンダに続いてもう一体大型のモンスターの紹介となります。
And this one is not a raid boss like Valagarmanda that we showed in Las Vegas, but we have a very important and large enemy to show you.
Wow.
え
That looks really
名
cool.
前をですね今回ご紹介す
Here.
るエリミネ
Oh,
ータ
the
ー。
Eliminator.
もうどんどん夏
I
休
didn't
みが
know we
遠
were
ざかって
fighting
Yes, we're getting a little bit
WWE
further away
wrestlers
from summer
here.
vacation again. Yeah?
The
まあさ
Eliminator.
てどんな形で出会いどんな戦いになるのか伏せておきますが、こういった今まで多分皆さんが黄金のレガシーでちょっと想像してたのとだんだん変わってきたんじゃないかなと思います。
Now, we can't tell you much about it yet or exactly how you meet, but it's obvious that we're going against expectations for Dawn Trail so far.
このエリミネーターね機械なのかそもそも生物なのかダンジョンのアートワークに続いてねだんだん謎が深まっていく基調講演になってるかなと思います。
Again, it's hard to tell if this is a machine or if it is alive or something in between. Yeah?
ああじゃあ続いてコンテンツサポーター、まあこちらアップデートは行っていきますがもちろん今回も全てのメインストーリーのダンジョン
Dad
対応させ
mode,
ていただい
as
て
it
ま
was
す。
pitched to me.
Okay, next up we have our duty
And it
support
absolutely
feature, and we'll be
was. It was
happy to know
amazing.
that this feature will be made available for all of the instance dungeons for 7.0's main scenario.
かなり新しく、コンテンツサポーターとして加わるキャラクターも多いです。
And of course, there's going to be a lot of new characters that are going to be included in this duty support feature.
たくさんの AI 作らなきゃいけなくて、ゲームデザイナーたちすごい四苦八苦しながら開発進んでます。
But that means our game designers and programmers are having to work a lot on all of the new AI.
そして多数の新装備、新クラフト、もちろんギア多数用意しております。
And with all these new dungeons and enemies, the Warrior of Light will need some proper new gear, and we have a lot of new recipes to make sure that you're properly kitted.
おしゃれがね気になる皆さんもぜひご期待ください。
And of course, we'll be introducing a lot of fashionable
I like
items
that
as well.
dude on the
ではちょ
left.
っと新しい装備のアートワーク見てみ
I
ましょう。
don't like a lot of helmets and hats in MMOs, despite the fact that I play a race that can actually wear them.
ギャザラークラフターもね専用装備
But
当然
I really like
全
it.
て
Look at
一新
this.
され
Look
ま
at
す
these fancy
Disciples of the
clothes.
Land and Hand will,
This
of
feels
course,
like
be giving you
everybody's gonna be getting
job-specific
dressed
gear as
up
well.
for stuff.
モデリングも第一次グラフィックスアップデートを行った状態で順調に進んでいます。どのように実機で見られるかご期待
We're
く
gonna
ださ
put
い。
on our
So we're
fancy
currently in the
clothes.
modeling phase of development with our new graphical update. So for now, you're going to have to imagine how these designs will look when rendered in game.
そしてこちらはジョブ専用装備
Wow.
の一部ですね。
And here we have some job-specific gear for the Disciples of War and Magic.
まあどれがどのジョブかは言わなくても大丈夫だよ。
New dancer gear is pretty good. It's too bad I'm not gonna be a dancer
今回のジョブ専
anymore.
用装備はですね冒険のその地域の特徴デザインにあまり寄せずそのジョブのイメージというのをストレートに書き起こすようにというふうにディレクションしてます。
Okay, instead of designing the gear to match more of the geographical or cultural feel of Tyrol, we decided to take a much more straightforward approach with their design.
では続いて、新たな生活系大規模コンテンツ
What
So
is
as I mentioned back in Las Vegas, we're
lifestyle
planning some
content?
expansive new lifestyle content for Dawn Trail.
まあ、7.X シリーズにおいてもですね、石ワールド復興とか、それから無人島開拓に続く新しい、生活系の大規模コンテンツお届けしていく予定です。
This will be new content that'll be featured alongside existing content such as the Ishgardian Restoration and Island Sanctuary.
なんとかですね、この場で発表したかったんですが、もう少し企画の詳細を詰めたいということで、残念ながら詳細までは今日お伝えできないんですが、日本のファンフェスでは、内容をお届けできるかと思います。
So the plan was to show you that new content here, but the team in charge didn't think it was quite ready and wanted just a little bit more time. So we're going to be putting off the big reveal until Tokyo. So we have to wait a little bit longer.
開発チーム頑張ってるので、
Just know it exists.
The dev team is hard at work, so please forgive them.
ありがとうございます。皆さんの拍手でね、今めっちゃ日本で頑張ってくれてると思います。
All right, they just heard your cheering, and so now they're like, oh, gotta get back to work. Gotta get
ありがとうございます。
So thanks.
ただ今回の、生活系の大規模コンテンツ、前回ね無人島開拓は一人で遊ぶものっていう形でしたが、今企画しているのは皆さん多人数で、遊んでいく盛り上がっていくというコンテンツの企画内容になってますので、また詳細の発表をねご期待いただければと思います。
So while Island Sanctuary was more solo content, this new content that we have planned for Dawn Trail is going to be something that you can enjoy with a lot of people.
Interesting.
さてでは各種バトルコンテンツもご紹介しましょう。
All right, we mentioned battle content a little earlier, but we have a lot more installed.
さあ、これらのバリアントダンジョン、8人レイド、それからもちろん
I have yet to do any of the variant
頑張っ
dungeons.
て、これらすべて作ってまいりま
I
す。
don't know where to go
We'll
to
be
do
adding
them.
new variant dungeons,
My guess
a
is
new
we'll
Apex
dog,
raid,
'cause that's
and
where
a new
everything
ultimate
starts
raid
these
that will be
days,
just as
but-
challenging as those that become
I
before.
don't know. I don't know where to
そ
find
して
them.
当然なが
So I
ら
haven't done them.
アライアンスレイドも新シリーズ始まります。
And of course, we can't forget our alliances out there.
今日ここではですね、そ
Oh,
の
is it
次
Charlene?
のアライアンスレイドが一体
I actually
どんなもの
don't
にな
go
る
there
のか
very
ご
often.
紹
It's
介
weird.
したい
I
と
don't
思いま
know.
す。
And so here in London, we are excited to finally announce our latest Alliance Raid series.
Oh boy. Interesting.
わあ、ありがとうございます。
Thank you.
Thank you. 次のアライアンスレイドシリーズのタイトルはエコーズ・オブ・バナディールというタイトルでお届けします。
So our newest Alliance Raid is Echoes of Vanadil.
MMORPG として大先輩であるファイナルファンタジー11運営開始からすでに21年、その運営20周年を記念して我々、次なるアライアンスレイドシリーズはそのファイナルファンタジー11の世界を垣間見
We're
る
gonna
冒
try
険を
and
お届け
get
したい
those
と思い
Final
ます。
Fantasy
So
XI
to
players
celebrate
over here
over
one
20
way or
years of
another.
Final Fantasy XI, we are turning to our MMORPG Senpai
Yes.
and stepping into Vanadil to get a glimpse of this wonderful, exciting world.
果たしてどんな
They're
ストー
like,
リー
we're gonna
どんな
get you
ボスが
over here,
登場するの
ninja.
かぜひ
If
ご
it's
期
the
待
last
ください。
thing we do.
As for what story will feature, who you will meet, what bosses you will fight, we can't tell you that.
もちろんファイナルファンタジー11から続くねこのファイナルファンタジーシリーズの長い MMO を楽しんでいただいている、そして今もねファイナルファンタジー11遊んでいただいている方にも楽しんでいただける内容に仕上げていこうと思ってます。
But we can guarantee that it will be something that longtime fans of Final Fantasy XI and even players of fans right now will be able to truly enjoy.
さあじゃあちょっと質問していいですか。
So, speaking of which, I have a question for all of you.
11今もやってるんだよなって。
How many people out there are still playing 11?
おお、ありがとうございます。いやいやもう11はめちゃくちゃやったよと。今は14やってるけど11めちゃくちゃやったよっていう。
And so, how about people that, I'm playing 14 right now, so I don't have time for them, but I played a lot of 11 back in the day.
ああすごい。ありがとうございます。ありがとうございます。
13 more.
長らくですね、我々スクエアニックスの
I mean,
MMO を
I
支えて
played a
くれた
little
本当
bit
に
of
ありがとうござい
11,
ます
but it was not my thing. I was
So
big
yes,
into
thank
WoW.
all of you who've been supporting Square Enix through our MMORPGs for such a long time.
おそらくですね、配信を見て
And
くだ
I
さ
was
ってい
always
る
trying to get
方々
Ben
も大
to
いに
come
今
over
ね
and
手を挙げ
play
てくださってるん
Final
じゃないかなと思い
Fantasy,
ます
or
I know
not
a lot of
Final
people watching
Fantasy.
on the stream
I was
as
always
well
trying to
have
get Ben to
this in their
play
hands.
WoW with me,
ぜひぜひ
and
ご期
he
待
was
くださ
big
い
into Final
Again, please
Fantasy
look forward to it.
XI. So I actually kind of have a bit of a grudge against Final Fantasy XI because it was always the game that was keeping my friend away.
ではさらに、コンテンツ継続してアップデートしていきますよというお話を
I mean, I got over
して
it.
おこうと思います
I got
And of
older
course, we're going to
and
continue
found
our
out
updates of
that
existing
like that's how
contents as
life
well during
works.
the
But
7.x series.
もう一個一個は説明しませんが
I'm not going to explain each of them here, but you get the idea.
もうこれらは一個ずつ言いません、引き続き 7.x でも大量のアップデートをお届けしていく予定です。
So yes, you can expect updates of
I also
all
haven't done
the
any
content
deep
you see
dungeons.
here.
そしてまあこれだけじゃ
Or
なくて
wait,
です
are
ね
deep dungeons,
久し
is
ぶりに
that like
こちらも予定してます。
But we
deep
have
dungeons
something
are
even more special.
why can't I think of the name? Like Palace of the Dead, right? Like that's the deep dungeon. Oh, a new limited job. What would that be?
青魔同士リミテッドジョブとして登場していますが、その第2弾新しい次なるリミテッドジョブというものの開発を今進め始めてます
Beastmaster? That
All
makes a
right,
lot
to
of
go
sense.
alongside
Yeah.
Blue Mage, we are currently working on an
Basically
all-new
make
second
Pokemon.
limited job.
まあ実装まで、まあ、ちょっと 7.x シリーズの後半で実装の予定なのでちょっとしばらくお待ちいただくことにはなりますが
But again, its release isn't currently planned until the latter half of the 7.x series.
まあ、どんなジョブになるのかちょっと聞いてみようかな
But, you know, we do hope to tell you more about it soon, but we're going to kind of ask you, what do you think it's going to be?
Yes
I feel like even though people yelled a lot of stuff, I feel like I heard Beastmaster pretty
ビーストマ
clearly.
スター結構いるちょっとコウジ聞いてみてよ他にどんなのあるか
Anything else? Fisher?
いやいやいやいや
We already...
結構ねからくり師ってさ英語だとなんていうの
I can't remember. What is it?
からくり師
Puppet.
パペットマスターああなるほどなるほど
Oh, yeah. Puppet Master.
いやーそうあんまり言うとさなんかそれっぽくなっちゃうから
Beast Master.
ベースマスターなまあでもやっぱりパーティープレイではなかなか、実現できない、遊びとセットで、新しいリミテッドジョブ開発していきますので、まあぜひどんなものになるか、お待ちいただければと思います。
But yeah,
I feel
we're really
like a
excited.
lot
We're
of the
working on a
things
lot
they're
of different
talking
ideas,
about right now,
something that we
man,
can do
like
to
I feel like I've played
party
so
play,
much
similar
Final
to
Fantasy
how it is
XIV,
with,
but there's
the
still
Blue
so
Mage,
much
so,
stuff I haven't done
yeah,
in
please
there.
look forward to it.
Like I
Well,
unlocked
somebody
Blue
told me
Mage,
that
but I've
I
done
did,
nothing with
Donna,
it.
limited
I
jobs
haven't
になるか
touched
お
Blue
伝えしていけ
Mage
るんじゃないかな
beyond
と思ってます。
unlocking
企
it.
画は順調に進んでおります。
While we can't say any more here, we do hope to reveal more information very, very soon.
各種コンテンツアップデート、ここまで触れてきましたが、今回もですねグラフィックスアップデートの、進捗についてこの場でちょっとお伝えしたいと思います。
All right, so now that we've talked about our content updates, I'd like to move on to the planned first graphical update.
Alright, I was going to call it quits at 3 a.m. my time no matter what, but I do want to see the graphical update
そこで
stuff.
さらに調整しましたよというのを
We're
ち
gonna
ょ
go
っ
a
と
little
お伝え
bit
したい
longer.
と思って持ってきてます。
Okay, so after showing everyone our progress with the graphical update back in Las Vegas, we got a lot of player feedback. Over the past few months, we've taken that feedback and we've made even further adjustments.
I mean, that's smart. That's what they need to do, because I know
So
that,
how many
like,
people here have an Aura character?
not everybody was super stoked about what they saw last time. And I
持ってきた
think
のはこのアウラの
All right, so we're gonna
I
talk a
think
little bit
doing
about the
some
auras,
refinement
forms, and
based on
scales.
feedback is
で
probably
きるだけね
smart.
皆さんの イメージ損なわないように注意しつつ行っているグラフィックスアップデ
And
ー
there's
トなんですが
some RA
Again, we've
people
been,
there
tweaking a lot with our
freaking the
new
hell
update.
out.
中でも前回途中経過注目されたのアウラ族の角とかそれから鱗の表現っていうものに、いろんなフィードバックいただきました。
So yes, our main goal was to introduce these fine adjustments that won't feel too drastic and ruin that unique look that we've all gotten used to. And if you recall, this includes tweaks to polishing things like the aura horns and scales.
まず次に
I don't remember what was so controversial the last time they showed it, but I remember there were some things
Okay,
where
so first off, we're going to start by showing you what we showed you back in Las Vegas.
like texturing seemed to be an issue.
これがね前回お伝えしたもの。
All right, and this is what we showed you last time.
角の表面とか鱗に結構光の反射があってちょっとエナメルっぽい質感だった自分たちのイメージとちょっと違ったっていうフィードバックも、結構議論として寄せられてました。
So back in Las Vegas, the horns and scales that we showed you were very reflective and had a very strong enamel type of feel, and it was not something that a lot of people had expected.
これはこれ
Red
でやっぱり
Mosquito,
こう
thank you
反射
so
があ
much
る
for
の
the
で
gifted sub. Congratulations, Sleepy Joe.
比較的高く見えやすい
Name feels very familiar to me.
And with this reflectivity, I mean, it looks very high quality, so it was good for showing off that improved in quality of the horns.
我々が 3.0 で、企画した時のアウラの元のイメージに近づけるようにさらに、継続して調整を続けてきました。
But it didn't really match our vision of what we wanted the aura to look like from our original design back at 3.0, so we continued tweaking.
すごい微妙なのでメインキャラクターアウラの人ちょっと一生懸命画面見てください。
All right, and so this is where we are. It's a very, very small change, so look very, very closely.
That is a pretty small change, but you know what? I'm gonna
こ
say
れが前回。
I'm gonna say better.
アフター。
I'm gonna say better. I think better. I think better. It looks better. I mean, I don't want to be too. Here's the thing. I don't want to be too judgmental on the aura because I don't play one. I don't think they look cool at all. I know a lot of people play them. I see them all the time. So I'm sure that's disappointing someone out there, but it's not my aesthetic.
どんどんギリギリまで細かくクオリティアップや調整を続けています。
So this goes for all of the updates for the other races as well. We've been receiving a lot of feedback, and what we showed you in Las Vegas wasn't the final product, but a work in progress.
ちなみになんですけど、
Okay?
このスクリーンショットのこのアウラの女性のね首にちょっとライン入ってるんですけど。
And so some of you with some very good eyes maybe notice a little line on the neck.
ちょっと急いで首くっつけたんでちょっと。
And so basically when creating this, we had to rush and we just took a head and popped it on a body.
これは大丈夫治るんで。
We'll fix this. Don't worry.
I mean, good on him for getting out there and saying it, because there are going to be people that see that and go, well, that's what it's going to look like, and I'm mad and I'm upset. So, as silly as that is, like, you know, he's saving tweets and emails right now from someone.
9番と呼ばれているオリジナルのファイナルファンタジー14が13年前にリリースされ、その時から、より快適に遊べるようにという形でレルムリボンが作られてます。
So as many of you know, the original Final Fantasy XIV was released almost 13 years ago. Then a couple years after that, A Realm Reborn was released to improve upon the original.
1.0 から遊んでるよ。
How many people here have been playing since 1.0?
Oh.
Legacy.
Thank
There were more Final Fantasy XI current players than people who've been playing since 1.0.
Q14 のそのモデリングっていうのをうまくアレンジしてここまでやってきたと。
But I mean, again, understandable. Like we all
making the
know.
move from 1.0 to A Realm Reborn, we didn't have a lot of time, so we ended up having to repurpose some of the original character models for A Realm Reborn.
今回グラフィックスアップデートではそれらの調整を行う際にこの9番から使っていたモデルというのにも改めて全てに手を入れて完全に新しいものへと進化させることにしました。
And so now, to coincide with the graphical update, we had to revisit our use of these older 1.0 models.
これこそめちゃくちゃ細かいのでちょっとよく見てください。
This is the kind of
This is gonna
stuff
get
I
really,
find
really detailed,
interesting. Like, this stuff is kind of fascinating to
ラ
me.
ラフェルですね。
Okay, so we have our Lalafell.
これ現在のララフェルです。
This is the Lalafell that's in game right now.
まあ可愛いですね。
And of course, cute as ever.
ちょっとですね、ここに注目してください。
So I want you to focus on this part of the face.
Alright.
そのあたりです。
So yeah, right there around the chin.
Mildly distracting that they drew it in a streaky
キャ
red.
ラクターモデルを軽くかつ
This feels like a
ローポリゴン
stalker
を実はですね、ほっぺたの下に
looking at a
すごい
picture of their
四角
Lalafell.
いポリゴンを無理やりこう入れてですね、そこでこう顎の影のラインをつけるみたいなすごいこうなんて言ったらいいんだろう、テクニックみたいなことを実はやってます。
So, to ensure character models weren't a burden on the system, but also maintain a high visual quality, we implemented the use of these low polygon shapes. And the remnants of those can kind of be seen today in around the cheek and the jawline, those straight lines.
ただ今回キャラクターの肌の質感を上げてより影がリアルに滑らかに表示されていくためにですね、ノーマルマップと呼んでいる顔の凹凸データみたいなものっていうのも全て改めて、きれいに作り直しています。
Okay, so with the graphical update, however, we went back and we retooled and recreated what is called our normal map data, which in other words is basically this data that's meant to represent the bumps and dips and irregularities of those textures.
そのためですね、その新しいグラフィックスの状態に、この旧の状態のモデルをそのテクニックを残したままにしてしまうと、逆にその非常に小さいポリゴンが不自然な影を作ってしまうみたいなことが、出てきました。
Okay, however, by doing that, it caused some conflicts with the existing low polygon data that we'd been using since 1.0, creating even these more mysterious bumps and dips in shadows.
わかるかな？
Can you tell?
わかる？
Original.
So there, and that's what happened.
Previous.
ここにね、すごい微妙
This
に
is
外側に尖ったポリゴンが
This is so
影の
niche.
邪魔をしてるんです。
But I
So you
do
can
love
see
it.
kind of there's these bumps on the chin that are kind of affecting the shadows.
いや、わかんねえよっていう反応だなこれ。
And everybody's like, I don't know, what?
Like,
ただこれララフェル使ってる方どれぐらいいます？
How many people are using Lalafells?
皆さん自分のララフェルが一番可愛いと思ってますよね。
And so, of course, you think your Lalafell is the cutest, right?
まあなのでだからこそこういう細かいその違いっていうのを
doesn't Yoshi P play
まあなくさない
Lalafell?
ようにできればしてい
I
きたい。
feel like this
ただこれからの
this
クオリティ
specific change
アップデートを考
that
える
he's
と
talking
どうして
about
も
comes from him staring at a Lalafell way too
ローポ
much.
リゴンのテクニックみたいなものを
Like,
取ってい
what's
か
up
ない
with
と
my chin
さらに綺麗にはならないの
shadow?
で、まあそういう
I don't
細か
like
い
it.
ところまで調整させてもらってますっていうのが今回のお知らせです。
And so I know that some people may look at these kind of imperfections born from these old techniques as something that makes Lalafells Lalafells. And you know, we didn't want to get rid of them all because we know that that's what makes the Lalafell special. But moving with this graphical update and having something that matches that, we decided it was time to at least touch them up.
これが最新です。
And so this is the new version.
I like the crowd. The crowd has no idea. The crowd's like, I don't see it at all. I do see it.
すごい
It's rounder. It's definitely better, but it is such a minute change. It's so small. But you know what? It's great. It's great. Good on them for doing it. Like, you know,
貴重公演で
it looks better. It looks better. It
思わなくもないんですけど
You're probably
like
all
this
wondering,
is
like,
what they're doing is literally how I make a character when I play Final Fantasy. Is I sit there and I mouse over option A, and then I mouse over option B, and then I go back and forth and I go, which one do I like
よ
better?
りクオリティアップ
A
をさせてい
B
くため
A
に
B A
担当
B.
のアーティストたち
Right,
も
A.
僕も
And then I do the same A C A C A C. I just go back and forth like that. That's just what I do. So, you know, I gotta look at these small changes. But I will say this definitely reads as somebody that's like stared at his character model too long and is like, this is what bugs me.
How hard we are working on this graphical update. We understand that you all love your characters, and we don't want to change your characters, but we do want to make them look a lot better, and so we're working on these tiniest of issues to improve it.
By the way, good morning, everybody. Everybody joining us. I haven't gone to bed yet. I'm gonna be going to bed soon.
Again, this is.
They keep saying things or talking about things that are just interesting enough to keep me up. I do want to read this message from Steezy Tom. Hey all, John, I'm a longtime core listener who just started Final Fantasy XIV because of you, Garrett, and Kyle, only at level 23 on the MSQ, but I already have to say thank you. Coming from Guild Wars 2, WoW, and Lost Ark, the story is so much better. I'm only in a realm reborn. Oh man, it gets better from there. Look at all these people.
The glasses. Helmets, glasses. What's easier than that?
Oh, glasses. I was reading a message. So the idea is that you're going to be able to wear helmets and glasses at the same time now.
So development on that first graphical update is proceeding smoothly.
That makes sense. You can wear a helmet and glasses at the same time in real life. It makes sense.
Our artists are working tirelessly to improve all of our 13 years of graphical assets.
このグラフィックスアップデートやファイナルファンタジー14のグラフィックスがどんなテクニックを使って作られているのか、このファンフェスの開発パネルでも実際にツールの映像などを交えて、お見せしていこうと思います。
So for those of you who want to know more about this topic of graphical update, as well as the kind of techniques that the team uses to create Final Fantasy XIV, we have this great development panel coming up a little bit later that will show you all about how we do this and show you even some of the tools that we use.
かなり面白い内容になっていますので、ぜひ開発パネルの方にもご注目ください。
It's going to be really interesting, so we hope you look forward to it and are here to watch it with us.
では
The most exciting slide of the show.
While we're here, we want to remind you one more time about the new minimum.
Get ready, everybody. Hang on to the edge of your seats because we're going to hit you with the recommended system requirements for the new Final Fantasy expansion.
そこまでめちゃくちゃ高くしないようにしてますので、ぜひすいませんがよろしくお願いします。
We haven't raised it too much, but please understand. Thank you.
はい、では、残りの時間、この先 7.0 までに、アップデートしていく
You know, we haven't raised it too much, but please understand is a much better PR move than maybe it's time to upgrade your computer.
The release of 7.0.
まずは、北米で発表させていただいた Xbox バージョンに関してです。
Oh, right. It's coming out on Xbox.
For the Xbox version.
はい、Xbox バージョンはですね、来年1月中旬から2月にかけて
You know, maybe I will play the Xbox version. My son is just getting to the age where he doesn't have to be... I don't have to be as hands-on paying attention. He likes to watch games and stuff like that. I still need to be around him. I still need to be ready to give him, you know, help him out, give him food, whatever he needs. So I can just play this on the Xbox in the living room. That'd be great.
So all of our Xbox users out there, we welcome you to join the test and help us make the game great.
では続いて、新しい 7.0 じゃないや 6.5X で実装されるコンテンツ動画をご用意してきましたので、まずそちらをご覧いただこうと思います。
And so now for our next announcement of 6.5x content, we have this special video. Roll it.
Roll it. All right, the Fall Guys Golden Saucer business. Oh my gosh. This would be... I would feel better about this if I didn't know that all the Fall Guys devs got fired recently, but At least this is in Final Fantasy, so that's something. This looks like madness. I'm genuinely excited to do this. Because here's the reason why I'm excited about this being in Final Fantasy. I played a little bit of Fall Guys, and Fall Guys is fun. I liked it. But launching Fall Guys and like it wasn't a game that I ever wanted to like pull up. It's a game that like I just kind of want to stumble into. I never sat down ever and was like, yeah, I'm ready to sit down and just play Fall Guys. In Final Fantasy, hanging out at the Gold Saucer, it's easier to just be like, oh, I guess I'll go play some Fall Guys stuff. I can do that. Yeah, the Fall Guys studio had massive layoffs. It's super sad. Like, it does bum me out a bit about this.
So as you saw in the trailer,
I mean, like, you know, game industry is gonna game industry, but it is a bit of a bummer to, every time you play it, you're gonna be like, yeah, a lot of people lost their job right after this was announced.
24人まで同時にプレイすることが可能で、もちろんマッチングにも対応させていただいてます。
This content is designed for groups of 24 players, with, of course, random party matching for players who don't arrive with their own alliance.
でこちらのフォールガイズなんですが、ちょっと特徴がありまして、開催が、不定期というか、何ヶ月かおきに開催されてしばらくお休みして、開催されてしばらくお休みしてという数ヶ月おきにオープンとクローズを、繰り返していく予定です。
Okay, so one unique characteristic with this content is that it's not always going to be open. There will be periods of time where it is available and then period of times when it's not available, and we'll be repeating that over a cycle.
まあどうしてもそうしないとこう一気にねやったらまた人が他のとこ行っちゃってみたいなことになるので定期的にやっていきますのであまりね焦らずに皆さんの時間のある時に開催と合わせてやってってくれればと思います。
Again, we want to keep the balance between the two games and keep that fair. So we're going to have, again, times on and times off, so you can enjoy the Fall Guys content and then go back to other content.
もちろん多数のオリジナル報酬ご用意しておりますので、ぜひプレイしてそれらの
I'm not a huge fan of limited time content. Anybody who's ever heard me rant about the Dark Moon Fair knows this, but I will say I think that there's a difference between things like the Dark Moon Fair, where it's like literally the entire thing is gone for periods of time and then sometimes it's there. Like that's super bad. I hate that. I don't think it's as bad when it's one aspect of a thing. Like if the Golden Saucer was only open a week a month, that would bug the shit out of me. But in a world where it's just like, oh, what do we got here? It's about time, honestly. it's about time. Look at him. So it looks like we're gonna fight Ifrit from 16. I'm all for it. Hell yes. And it looks like we're gonna do it with Clive. I think that's Clive back there. Yeah. Oh, this looks great. This looks so great. Badass. Oh! You guys!
というわけでですね、ファイナルファンタジーシリーズ最新作16とのクロスオーバークエストのお知らせです。
That's right, we can finally announce our Final Fantasy XIV, Final Fantasy XVI crossover event.
Well, that is just the best.
So yeah, I asked the producer on Final Fantasy XVI, you might know him, Naoki Yoshida. He said it was okay, so here we go.
Thanks. tell him we said thank you.
この永遠の旅路という物語、ファイナルファンタジー16の主人公であるクライブ・ロズフィールドと光の戦士の出会いの物語となってます。
All right, it's called The Path Infernal, and of course will feature 16's protagonist, Clive Rosfield, fighting alongside the Warriors of Light.
I wonder if he'll be voiced.
ファイナルファンタジー16未プレイドという方もいらっしゃると思いますし、PS5 版今年の冬に買うよと、PC 版出たら買うよというふうに待ってらっしゃる方もいると思いますので、あまり過剰な16のネタバレにならないよう仕上げておきました。
Again, we've written the story so that it doesn't spoil too much of 16 for those players who have yet to play Final Fantasy 16.
It's gonna spoil it just
PlayStation 5 this Christmas, or maybe waiting for the PC version. But there's enough in it so that everyone should have a lot of fun.
先ほど動画でご覧いただいた通り、16で大人気であるトルガルという、狼の、報酬など多数ギアご用意しております。
And I bet you all saw the Torgal goodies in that teaser trailer.
No, not at all. That's not at all the part that freaked me out, got me so excited.
オートコンボくれ。確かにね、オートコンボコラボレーションで出てきたらちょっと面白い。
That would be great. That's a good idea. Have those auto combos in there.
でもそのリングつけるとアイテムレベル下がるよ。
Oh yeah, but if you do put on the rings of the timely rings, then your item level is going to go down. So I don't know.
ぜひですね、ある意味物語の導入に近いそれほどね。
Have we had an announcement of Final Fantasy XVI on PC? Confirmed that they're working on it. No date.
それらをプレイしてですね、PC 版だったり、それからファイナルファンタジー16の DLC などにもご期待しつつ、
That might be what he's saying right now.
14も16も楽しんでいただければ嬉しいですと。ファイナルファンタジー16のプロデューサーの吉田さんからコメントを預かってきております。
So again, we'd like you to think of this collaboration as kind of an introduction to the world of Final Fantasy XVI for all of our Final Fantasy XIV players. We can't wait for you to get your hands on this new content, and we're currently developing alongside Final Fantasy XVI DLC and the PC version.
Nope.
And of course,
I did hear what I thought I heard.
Told us that, it was okay to go, so we're gonna do it.
I was gonna say, oh boy, I really misheard something there, but no, yeah, they are working on it. No date though.
ちょっとここでお知らせを最後基調講演ではあるんですがさせてください。
Okay, so next up we have a final announcement.
クラウドデータセンターというもののテスト、我々進めております。
All right, as I talked about recently,
Wait a minute.
We have a cloud server.
Is this really the last thing they're gonna announce? Somebody needs to teach Yoshi P how to do the one more thing of announcements. You don't go, we got one more thing, cloud data center stress test. What are you doing, man? I got all excited. I was like, "Ooh, what are we building from here?"
All right. Basically, up until now, all of our data centers have been using physical servers, and we want to do this test with the cloud servers to make it easier to expand these. And so, to help do this, we need your help with the test.
5年前から検証スタートして。
In Japan, this is the most exciting announcement. Maybe. I was really excited after I saw the Torgal mount. I was like, oh man, that's so cool. Then he said we got one more thing, and I was like, oh, what are they gonna do? And then this slide came up, and I just felt sad in my heart.
To help us with, find out any kind of things and issues that
it's supposed to come out summer of next year for the next expansion.
Again, we would deeply appreciate your participation as it will help us continue to expand our game and our community.
その概要こちらになります。
So we're going to talk a little bit about what this test entails.
Oh my gosh. Not only is it the one more thing, but they're going in depth on it.
So the test will be conducted via our North American East Coast data center. That said, we encourage players from all over the world in Europe, Japan to join the test.
そうですね。もちろん日本の方もぜひよろしくお願いします。
That's right. Players from Japan as well, you're welcome
Nobody will be seated for the announcement of the cloud data center stress test.
All right, so we're going to be asking players to create new characters for the test, but unfortunately we're going to have to wipe those characters after the test is over.
その他いくつかちょっと制約はあるんですが
Excited for the Xbox release as a fellow solo baby tank parent. Heck yeah. I gotta tell you, like, the addition of the duty support, which is what they call it, like that, I only had it for Shadowbringers because it didn't exist for the prior expansions, but it's such a deal changer as a parent, like, knowing you're gonna get to run a dungeon for just a little bit of time that you might have, like, it's really good.
Asking players to play a certain way. We just need to have you come in and enjoy as much content as possible.
はい、ぜひ皆さんで様々なコンテンツプレイしていただけると大変助かります。
And again, we hope that you all join us in this test.
どうか皆さんのお力ぜひ14のためにお貸しください。
Again, this is for 14, this is for our future, and we hope to see you join the test.
I mean, they gotta get people in. They gotta find a way to tell everybody. You know, I'm poking a little fun, but I understand why they gotta do it. I just think, you know... Are you gonna do an actual one more thing? I just don't feel like you can one more thing with that.
ファイナルファンタジーシリーズイメージアート数々ねお書きいただいている天野先生にも
But I don't know what you would talk about as a one more thing at this point.
All right, so before we wrap things up this
Okay,
morning,
here we
there's
go.
one last slide I'd like
All
to
right,
show
here
you.
we go.
All
Here we
new
go.
Dawn Trail artwork by the one, the only Yoshitaka Amano.
That's a pretty good one more thing. That's a good one more thing. I like it.
Final Fantasy III をねちょっと彷彿とさせるような
That's exactly what I was looking for. Someone said any job clues. I'm like,
Final Fantasy III artwork.
天野先生も、非常にノリノリでいつもファイナルファンタジー14イメージイラスト描いていただいておりますので今回もものすごいスピードで仕上げていただきました。
Again, Amano-san really enjoys making artwork for Final Fantasy XIV, and he created this in a short amount of time.
さて欧州ファンフェスティバル、スタートを飾る基調講演として、僕の、トークセッションでしたが、今日お話しできるのはここまでとなります。
All right, that's all for today's keynote. I can't say any more.
この先の最後のいろいろ隠された情報をすべてぶちまけていくのは、日本のファンフェスで行わせていただきたいと思い
January
ます
7th. You want to learn new stuff? January 7th is when you're going to find out.
Tokyo Fan Festival.
I mean, that'll be the big one, right? That'll be the full trailer, probably.
では
That'll be the new job.
オープニングセレモニーの方に移っていきたいと思います。
All right, so now it's time to move into our opening ceremony.
そのオープニングに際してですね。
Oh, he needs both swords for that. Yeah.
For the
Oh,
opening
see, look at
ceremony.
that.
もう繰り返し
Koji and I,
Okay.
Koji and I could be
Weapon
brothers.
range.
He's just far more successful and smarter and better with languages
今回
than
ロンドン
me.
のファンフェス、ね、ここから開幕していきますが、とてもスペシャルなゲストにお越しいただいております。
All right, but before we move to the opening ceremony, I first need to summon a very important guest here with us for FanFest.
ファイナルファンタジーシリーズの生みの親、
The father of Final Fantasy.
Man,
坂口
I was about to call it, but how do we skip here? I was like, I'm not gonna go past 3:30 in the morning. Then you bring out the damn father of Final Fantasy, and I gotta hang out a little bit longer. He's such a huge Final Fantasy XIV fan. It is so wholesome how much he likes it.
Final Fantasy XIV?
Oh yeah, hardcore.
ここみんな非課線なんですよね。
So everybody here is a warrior of light?
Warrior right?
すみません、仲間です。
Look at him. He's already, he knows how to hype up a crowd too. He's immediately like,
I've only been
get
playing
everybody
for 2
on
years,
board.
so I'm rather new to the scene.
もう毎日ほぼインして。
He beat the MSQ faster than almost anybody I've ever seen beat the MSQ. And he did it paying attention to the story, taking constant screenshots, and writing up blurbs about his experience. And he still did it faster than almost anybody I know. It's crazy. It's great.
ご用意してますので、ぜひですね、最後までプレイヤーのもう本当光の戦士として来たっておっしゃってましたんで。
Sakaguchi-san will be here with us for the next 2 days for stages, for signing sessions. So if you see him, please, sir, to make you say hello because he's one of us.
あ、今日はね、一つお礼を言いたくて。
Oh, there's one thing I wanted to mention. I wanted to show my gratitude to you, Yoshida-san.
カッパありがとうございます。
Thank you for that imp costume.
もうカッパ最高でございます。
I love that outfit. Thank you so much
This is
for
so
that.
wholesome. I love it. I love it.
So do we need to make some cosplay for you for that?
やりましょうか。
Yes, please.
じゃあ改めまして、光の戦士の皆さん、放送見てる皆さんにも一言何かご挨拶お願いできますか。
So do you have a message for us here as well as everyone watching on the stream?
もう本当に世界中の方が見てらっしゃる。
見てらっしゃいます。はい。
Everybody around the world is watching, huh?
Yeah.
カッパありがとう。
Thank you for the kappa imp outfit.
まあ本当に
So for those of you who don't know, he requested I don't know what it is. It's like it's like a green cactus duck.
一緒に冒険できるっていう。
And they put it in the game
素晴らしい
for him.
場所だと思うので14は本当になんだろう心から感謝したいと思います。本当にこれからもみんなで
That's the whole story. I'm
ありがとうございます。
sure 3 a.m.
There's
John
people
summed it
watching
up
here
perfectly.
As well as on the live stream, and it's just amazing to think how we can meet with each other in Final Fantasy XIV and go on our adventure together. It's such a wonderful place, this Final Fantasy XIV. So I really want to show my gratitude from the bottom of my heart. I would love to continue on this journey with you all.
さあではこれから2日間皆さん盛り上がっていきますので、ここからは開発チーム運営チームのみんなも登場してオープニングセレモニーに移っていきたいと思います。
All right, so let's have a great 2 days. And to help us, let us welcome to the stage our development and operations team.
All right. Not to take anything away from the development and operations team, I'm sure FanFest is going to be fantastic. But it is 3:40 a.m. and I am tired. I need to go to bed. I needed to go to bed a long time ago, and I'm still tempted to upload this before I go to bed. So, thank you everybody for hanging out for this. I don't do this often, but it was fun and I should do it more frequently. I hope you all had fun. Thank you everybody who joined me. I didn't think anybody was going to be here. So it was really great having you here and getting to enjoy this with you. I'm not big. I don't usually do like big reactions, although Torgal got me real good. I'm real excited about that. So I appreciate you, and I'll catch you all later. You all have a fantastic night, although at this point, a fantastic day. It's really probably what's happening. I'm going to go to bed. Catch y'all later. Bye, everybody.